Shadows fall, dimming the light. Whispers grow, a rising tide. Vindicator, where do you hide? Still is over, heart ablaze. Through smoky haze, he sets his gaze. Justice calls a burning need. A city's wounds he vows to heed. From cobbled streets to tower high, Vindicator takes to the sky. Strikes back with iron hands. Defender of this promised land. Breaks the chains, sets spirits free. Vindicator for all to see. Keep high! Keep high! Keep high! Keep high! Whispers turn to thunderous roar.
Right, time to launch you into orbit. Wait! Ah!
Slams the door on
There he goes.
tyranny's cruel, grasping hand. He fights for freedom, takes a stand with courage born of darkest night. He ignites hope, a guiding light. Strikes back with iron hands. Defender of this promised land. Breaks the chains, sets spirits free. Vindicator for all to see. Though battles rage and darkness reigns, hope's ember burns within his veins. He'll never yield, he'll never fall. He answers freedom's clarion call. Strikes back with iron hands. Defender of this promised land. Breaks the chains, sets spirits free. Vindicator for all to see. A symbol etched against the moon. Vindicator rising soon.
Hello, everybody. How you all doing? How you doing, chap? Hi, Missy Moon. Hi, Steve. Good to see you, buddy. Hello, everybody. Everybody that's watching. So, in my morning walk videos, I don't get to elaborate on certain points because I have a certain amount of time to say things. I don't want to make a video that's an hour long in the morning. Some people have said they like the longer videos, but for the majority of people, I think they prefer the short 10-minute burst of information and the morning walk video. So I like to keep the morning walks pretty much within 10 minutes. It's if I've got a really good rant, then it'll be 20 minutes and that sort of thing. So yeah, I've got lots to say about the advanced UK and the Restore Britain situation, because I've been doing a little bit of research and people have spoken to me since I made the video this morning, bringing certain things to light. So the argument that some advanced UK supporters and some people prominent within the advanced UK party have been saying is that Rupert Lowe, he isn't democratic, he's a dictator because it's just him at the minute and his policies. Well, he's only been going, what's been going 4 days? Infrastructure will come when the party begins to grow and that sort of thing, and it is growing. It's growing massively. He's got 60,000 members now. And I just want to put this into perspective. It took, 9 months for Advanced UK to get 40,000 members. Restore Britain, within 4 days of launching, 60,000. So that just goes to show you. And I think Rupert is actually taken away of a lot of reform supporters who are only voting for reform because it was the lesser of evils. Now Rupert Lowe has presented a party that is basically just saying everything that they want they're moving over. They're moving over to Restore Britain, and in a bit, the debate of whether or not Advanced UK should merge with Restore Britain is going to become irrelevant, because they'll be so big in a bit that the numbers that Advanced UK have will just be insignificant. And I'm probably betting a good proportion of those members that are members of Advanced will eventually join Restore Britain, especially if the college, the unelected college, by the way. And let's get into this, right? Let's get into this, right? About about people calling Rupert Lowe not democratic when you have a college in Advanced UK that was never elected by its members. It wasn't. It was chosen. The college was chosen. The members never had a choice. So to me, right, and this is just me, if you want to put a system in place that puts checks and balances on the leadership of a party, then surely the best way to do that is to come up with a short list of people and then put them up for the membership to vote on for who should be members of the college, because then that is true democracy. Then it's democracy all the way down the line. So people choose who these college members are, or maybe even the membership, just have a massive list of people, get them to choose, and have it like in 2 rounds, get them to choose who they want to be as college members. And then once you have a short list of people that you want, and a specific number of people you want in the college, then you get the members to actually vote on them and narrow that short list down even further to the people who will be members of the college. Maybe that's a good way of putting checks and balances into a party democratically, but that wasn't done, was it? So I find it ironic that you have Advanced UK members and people from within the party calling Rupert Lowe undemocratic when their whole process was undemocratic itself. I'm just pointing out the obvious. I'm just pointing out the hypocrisy in that. And again, I'm not taking sides in any of this. I'm really not. I don't care. I'm just pointing out the insane arguments that people have been putting forward. Actually agree, saw your rant and think you said things perfectly. Thank you. Member of a college sounds too much like college of policing. Right. So there's been this argument as well that Ben Habib has reached out to Rupert Lowe to ask about a merger. Now, that we know what's happening with that now. You know, I don't know why, because the merger doesn't seem to be on the cards. Rupert Lowe doesn't seem to be interested in a merger. He just wants people to join Restore Britain. So where a vote on merging with Restore Britain has come from, I don't know. It's come from Ben Habib. I watched his initial video, and in his initial video, he was telling people to go and join Restore Britain instead of Advanced UK. Now, in that time, I think words have been had between him and the college, because the college aren't particularly happy with that initial video, and they said there should be a vote in the college if we're going to merge with Restore Britain. And like I said this morning walk video, there are people within that college that have their own self-interests at heart. They don't care about whether we get our country back. They care about being close to power. And I think they fear some of the people within there, not all of them, but some of them, they've got their own agendas. I think they fear losing that ability to be close to power again, to have influence over an actual leader of a party. Because if Restore Britain and Advanced UK did merge, they would most likely lose that position. They wouldn't have that influence anymore. So let's not forget, there are personal agendas at play here. And I think a lot of where all these name calling and calling Rupert a white supremacist and ridiculous things like he's a racist, he's an ethno-nationalist, I think a lot of these smears are coming from these people, because they don't like the fact that they would lose their influence over a potential leader of a political party. And that was the only reason they were ever interested in being a part of the college, is because they wanted that influence. That's my belief anyway. So there could be people chucking in a spanner in the works regarding that as well. Definitely. I don't understand why it should be the college that decides. It's like what I said in this morning walk video. You've got the tyranny of the minority. So we have to ask the question, right? So is the college there to hold the leadership of the party to account for the members of the party? If so, that's a good thing. I agree with that. But is it just a group of people with their own agenda holding Advance UK hostage so it implements their agenda? And this is the issue with not actually having them elected by the membership. Because if you've got a college holding the leadership to account, then who is holding the college to account? Yeah, that's what we need. That's what we need to discuss. If you have these systems in place to hold leadership to account, then that mechanism that is holding the leadership to account should also be held to account by the members. Then you have true democracy in your party. Because surely, as much as a leader can become a dictator, surely a mechanism that isn't held to account, like the college, can also become a dictatorship. I'm just trying to like go through my logical process of how I thought about this. This is how I'm thinking about it, and something just doesn't seem right to me. I agree, Vin. They're trying to hold Advance hostage. All political parties have this problem. The risk is they develop policies that won't get enough votes from the UK people. Yeah. It should be as follows: leader held accountable by the college, college held accountable by the members. Yeah, 100%. That's how it should be. And plus, the college members should be elected by the members, surely. Otherwise, you've got a similar setup to what you've got in Reform. You've got the members, then you've got the board, and then you've got the top tier leadership. Now, the board in Reform doesn't have any power over the leadership whatsoever. It can only request that a leader step aside, and that leader can refuse. I don't know what the setup is within Advance UK, whether the college. Actually, I think they do. I think they do vote in the leadership, don't they? They can vote leadership out. But if that's the case, then they should be elected members themselves. They shouldn't just be appointed. They should be elected by the membership to make sure the right people are actually in the college to hold. And basically, there should be a process there for the membership to elect the college to make sure that the college is what the people, the members of the party, actually want. So it doesn't make any sense to me. And these people being hypocritical, calling Rupert Lowe not democratic, when it's only been 4 days in the party. It's only been 4 days. He hasn't set up any infrastructure yet. He said, I mean, I think he's gone through a process. Rupert Lowe has gone through a process. I think at first, and this is why he's reluctant to start a party, I think he genuinely thought that one man could make a difference in Parliament. I think he truly believed in the system. But over the course of, 2 years he's been in Parliament now, I think he's slowly come to the realisation that Parliament is deeply corrupt and one man can't make a difference. If you want to change Parliament and the way this country is governed, you need to have a political party and be in government. Government is the only way you can change the way things are done. I mean, he initially tried to do a cross-party coalition, which I think it had some success, but I think even that he realised that it was limited because the cross-party thing, the party leaders would always have ultimate control and they could discipline the members, the MPs via the whips to make them fall in line. So that was never going to be of any success, was it really? So I think Rupert Lowe's been on a journey, and I think this journey has led him to believe that, yeah, I need to, if I'm going to make a difference, then I need a party behind me. And he did state that the reason he didn't start a party first off is because he was busy with a grooming gang inquiry. He thought that was the most important thing to actually get off the ground. I'm not defending anybody. I'm just saying what Rupert Lowe has said, so everybody knows the true timeline of events. This is what's actually happened. So, because Rupert didn't start a political party, Advance UK popped up. I think we can all agree that if Rupert had started Restore Britain as a party from day one, then Advance UK would never have happened. It would never have existed. It would never have existed at all, because there would have been no need for it. And I think people are going to slowly come to the realization there's no need for it now. Because what's happened? You know, Rupert Lowe's gone from, was it 4 days? 60,000 members in 4 days. And it's taken 9 months for Advance to do the same thing. And it's all down to Rupert Lowe. People believe in him as a leader. They do. Ben Habib stated from the beginning he never wanted to lead Advance. He set Advance up for Rupert to lead it. And I'll tell you something else. This is just a theory. This is my opinion. I think another reason why Rupert is a bit reluctant to merge with Advance UK is because of some of the comments that have been coming from the college about Rupert Lowe. We saw it last night on some live streams where people were berating him, passively aggressively calling him an ethno-nationalist, and in some cases openly calling him an ethno-nationalist and a rat. So would you really want to have anything to do with a party that has a college where you have people like that representing it? I'm just saying. Right, we're going to take a look at this. I want to show people this just to prove that there has been communication between Rupert Lowe and Ben Habib about this. Because people keep on saying, oh, it's radio silence. Rupert Lowe's not said anything to Ben Habib. He has. And I think they've talked about it in private as well. So let's take a look at this. So we've got Ben Habib. People keep posting, hoping for a merger between Advance UK and Restore Britain. For the record, on Saturday, I made an open offer to merge with Restore, to which we have yet no response. And that's interesting, that sentence there. On Saturday, I made an open offer to merge with Restore. And then he kind of dialed that back a little bit, because I think he had a conversation with the members of the college who wanted to vote on it. I think if there'd been no discussion, I think Ben would have merged with Restore Britain on Saturday. But I think there was some pushback to that, and I think that's why the college wanted to take a vote. Why? I don't know. But like I said, some people in there have their own agendas. Anyway, I'll carry on. On Saturday, I made an open offer to merge with Restore, to which we have yet to have a response. It's not entirely true, though, is it, Ben? In that offer, I made it clear that I would not allow my own personal position to stand in the way of a merger. We cannot be more accommodative or generous than that. The offer stands. The ball is in Restore's court. Until then, it's business as usual. Our membership has grown a great deal over the weekend. We are continuing to make policies and recruit candidates. Our focus is rightly on winning Gorton and Denton. Advance is first-class party, the best structure in the country, perhaps the best structure party ever in British history. It puts democracy at its heart. Not really, though, does it? Not really, because your college isn't elected democratically. So it's not really democracy at your heart, is it, Ben? We stand for our mission statement, including the country in all its parts and for all its people. Serious principle policies. And this is Rupert Lowe's response. As I've said, Ben, you and Advance are very welcome in Restore Britain. We would love to have you on the team. Our party will be stronger with you in it. So now you have to ask a question. This isn't on Rupert Lowe anymore. This is on Ben Habib and his college as to why they're not taking Rupert Lowe up on his offer. isn't it? So people keep saying it's Rupert Lowe going radio silent. Not at all. He's already responded. It's the college and Ben Habib that are holding things up now. I just want to point that out. Just want to point that out there to get that on the record. So there you go. Very strange indeed. Grown-ups talk face-to-face, conducting a conversation through tweets. All feels a bit EastEnders. I agree. Makes me wonder if Advance is a set-up party and Rupert knows this. I'll be honest with you. I think Rupert thinks the same way as me. I think there's a few people in the college that he knows are charlatans, and he's already stated this. He stated that he only wants the right people who share his values within the party. And I think there's a few people in there that aren't entirely who they seem to be. And he's a sharp tool, is Rupert Lowe. He'll know if these people are genuine or not. He'll look through their actions. Yeah. It'll happen anyway. Eventually that will happen anyway, because Rupert's party is growing rapidly. So in a bit, the conversation of whether Advance UK should merge with Restore Britain will become irrelevant, because it will start to leach. Restore Britain will start to leach members from Advance UK, because they'll start to see them for what they truly are. That they're the ones that are throwing a spanner in the works of this because of egos, because of agenda. If I can see it, other people can see it, surely. No, he's saying, I think he's basically saying that you need to dissolve your party. But let's be honest about this. He's saying you need to dissolve your party and join me in mine, because his is bigger. Yeah, Advance UK's got the infrastructure. They could swap some of the infrastructure over to Restore Britain as they dissolve it. That could be quite easily done. But he could have Ben Habib as his chairman or his deputy leader, and they could discuss it, and they could make this party immensely devastating to reform Conservatives and any other left-wing party out there. It could be. Can you imagine those two people at the forefront? It will be a tour de force. But there are people in the background, advisors, that are putting a spanner in the works. And these are the questions you have to ask. Why? Why? Rupert's saying, I don't want to merge. I want you to leave Advance and join Restore instead. Yeah. Do you think that he's seen the same thing that I have? Do you think Rupert's seen the same thing that I have, in that the Advanced UK College isn't elected, and so therefore he doesn't want to make part of Restore Britain for that reason? Maybe that's a concession he would make. He would say, yeah, all right, bring your college over, but my concession is that all the people within it have to be elected by the members. Yeah. Soon to be irrelevant. That's soon to be irrelevant, because Restore Britain have overtaken them already. On both sides. To me, though, it's the bigger party that dictates the terms. And as of now, Rupert is the bigger party, so he should dictate terms. Like I said, in a few months, this argument will be irrelevant of whether Advance should merge with Restore Britain. It simply won't. It won't be a thing anymore. It won't be a discussion, because Restore Britain is going to be massive. It's not only sucking up reform votes, it's sucking up votes from people that didn't vote, who didn't want to become members, who were waiting for this sort of party to come along. People see Rupert as a genuine leader. He's leader material. He doesn't take any shit. I mean, a lot of people have been saying this and that. We need a British version of Trump. We'll never have a British version of Trump. But if you want to have a close comparison or a close proximity of that, Rupert Lowe is it. He takes no nonsense at all. Look at what he said. He's been unapologetic. If you want to call me racist for the things that I've proposed, then so be it. I don't care. And I have to admire somebody like that. I do. I admire leadership like that, because that's the leadership that Nigel Farage should have shown when the press started attacking him about, that lot. That's the attitude he should have taken. I don't care. I don't care what you think of me if these people support my party. That's the answer he should have given. That's leadership. Where have I brought race into this? I haven't brought race into this at all. I don't care if you're Pakistan. Ben Habib is a good. I don't care. You're making assumptions about me. Ben Habib is a good man. Definitely. So you're making assumptions about my position. So Evans either get with the program and decide what they're going to do, or pretty much any kind of negotiating leverage they have will be gone soon, because Rupert's already on 60,000 members. Probably at the end of this month, he's going to be on 100,000, maybe even more. Unfortunately, the propaganda has started. Yeah. You sure Vin did take a dump on his pot announcing merger without asking his party first? Sounds like a man with no principles and a charming tongue. Lowe must have infrastructure in place or he would merge, because obviously Advance. Well, if you look at it, he set up Restore as a, before it was a political party, it was a think tank. So he already has some type of infrastructure already built into it that can build policy. Because it was kind of like the Great British Pact that Ben Habib created. So Rupert Lowe created Restore Britain, which was a similar thing. It was designed to create policy. So it already has some infrastructure similar to what the college already is in place, doesn't it? Ben has also mentioned that Advanced has the correct registration for rapid integration of Restore into the unified party. Yeah, well, that'll be taken care of. That's no problem. I'm sure Rupert will do that himself. That's not an issue. I think Rupert, if he's clever, will take his time. Will take his time to build the party, not rush it. Build it up, build infrastructure from within, and then, I mean, he's already putting policy out already. Very, very well worded policy. I mean, this is what his think tank was doing. It was building policy for just this type of thing. It's already got policy in place. And I thought that was ironic on a live stream when I saw that, when people were saying that he doesn't have I've yet to see any policies. Really? He's not been looking very hard then, have he? Sorry, mate, I have to go, but great stream and glad that I could take part of it. No problem, mate. Anytime anyone wants to come in, you're welcome to do so, you know that. World War III will be used to stop 29 election, probably. Well, this is another thing, isn't it? We've seen Starmer slowly saber rattling, haven't we? Pushing for war with Russia. I said this in a video a few days ago that this could be the case. As soon as a actual right-wing party starts to emerge and people start to unite behind it, which is what's happening with Restore Britain, I am starting to see it happen now. Because whether political leaders or not of different smaller right-wing parties like it or not, their following is going to be absorbed into Restore Britain. It is. I can see it's already happening. People are saying, I've been looking at posts on Twitter of people saying their membership is up to UKIP in a few months, and when it's up, then they will be joining Restore Britain. This is what's going to happen. It doesn't matter what they actually say; they're gonna lose their membership to Restore Britain, because this is what people have been waiting for. It's not a far right party. It's not a centre left party. It's a true right wing nationalist party, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being nationalist and being proud of your country. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. We've been waiting for this for decades. We're done with centre-right politics. It doesn't work. You go to the centre ground to die. You go to the centre to negotiate, to appease, and we've had enough appeasement. Appeasement has led us to where we are right now in this country. But believe it or not, and not a lot of people know this. I was going to cover this tomorrow in my morning walk video, but I'll talk about it now. We're a day away from having blasphemy laws in this country. They're going to vote on it. They're going to vote on whether or not to protect Sharia law, in English law, in British law, so that if you criticise Islam in any way, shape, or form, you'll be guilty of a hate crime. So that means you can no longer criticise Islam. And don't think they won't enforce it, because they will. So we're a day away from blasphemy laws in this country. Starmer's rolling out a whole host of new restrictions on speech. He's criminalising any speech against LGBTQ people. He's criminalising any speech against disabled people. So pretty much our free speech in this country is going to be gone. And yet we still have people arguing over which right-wing party is the best. And this is what I keep saying. We need to get over this argument. We need to unite behind one singular movement, one singular force. And I'll admit, I'll be the first one to admit, right? Rupert Lowe still has a lot to prove to me yet. He hasn't earned my vote. He hasn't earned my trust. He hasn't earned my respect just yet. I respect him on certain things, but I still acknowledge that he's a politician. He's got a long way to go. What I need to see, there are certain things that I need to see that would make me 100% get behind him. So I want to see talk about the English Constitution. I want to see talk about that. I want to see the talk that he wants to ratify it and codify it and bring it into, make it supreme as English law. So all our freedoms are protected. So our free speech is protected. So our freedom of expression is protected. We need a Second Amendment. We need a Second Amendment to protect our rights, to stop what's happening right now in this country from ever happening again. That's what we need. And I know a lot of people might disagree with that, but look at what's going on in this country right now. We have people being thrown into prison for tweets for 3 years, whilst, you can stab, and I've seen the news today, whilst you can stab a serving soldier 70 times in front of his family, and you can get the minimum sentence of, I think it was it 7 years he got? 7 years. To me, if you take a knife to a police officer or a serving member of the military, you should get life imprisonment. That's what you should get, because it's supposed to be a deterrent. It's supposed to deter people from doing that sort of thing in the future. If you just give these people 7 years, they'll think, I can do 7 years, no problem. We're in a real state in this country. We're still arguing about which political party is the best or which leader is the best. This is why I get pissed off with party politics. Sick of it. It's like, put your egos to side, take your head out of the sand or take your head out of your arse, have a look at what's going on in the world at the minute, and then decide whether what you're arguing about at present is a priority or is getting back our country a priority and stopping the shit that these people are trying to do to us? That's my opinion. That's my stance. And I'll get behind anybody that wants to do that rather than argue over and get into some kind of Game of Thrones type shit. Yeah? That's how I feel. Right, I'm gonna have a look and see if we've got some more stuff to look at. I did bookmark a few things to take a look at. Let's have a look. Bookmarks. Right, yeah, so this is it, right? I just want to point this out just to show that I'm not pulling these figures out of my arse, right? So this is Rupert Lowe saying it himself. So Rupert Lowe, more good news. I've just been told that Restore Britain has hit 60,000 members. Another 10,000 patriots have joined in less than 24 hours. That's just in 24 hours. So that shows you how much people want this party and are behind Rupert Lowe. Yeah? That's how much people want this party. They're desperate for this sort of party because he's saying all the right things. I keep saying that. He's saying the right things. Actions speak louder than words, and I'll always hold him to that. I did put out a short yesterday stating that this isn't going to be easy. And the policies that he wants to enact could very well in itself cause civil unrest in this country. And he has to be the sort of leader that will clamp down on that and deal with that and nip that in the bud before it even is allowed set off. We've seen what happened in America when President Donald Trump started to enact his policies of removing illegal immigrants from the country. The far left kicked off, they started riots, 2 people were killed because they thought it was clever to try and get in front or ram police officers trying to do their duty. We can expect the same thing in this country. We can expect they're already unified, they're already organized. Antifa are already unified and organized. You can expect probably military type action from Palestine action and that sort of thing. Not to mention the fact that we've got countless terror cells operating in this country. We have ISIS, we have Al Qaeda, we have the Taliban, all operating within our borders. Not a lot of people know that, but we do. So it's not good. I mean, he said it himself. I know Rupert said it himself. It's not going to be easy. There is going to be pain. We're going to have to accept it. Some things are going to be hard to do, but they need to be done for the good of the country. You know, sometimes when you're ill, sometimes the treatment is worse than the disease, but it needs to be done. It's like, consider like Rupert Lowe chemotherapy for the country. You know, in order to cure the country, you have to make yourself ill first to get rid of the disease. And that's what he's going to have to do. And I'm sure Rupert Lowe is the leader to do it. That's why he's got my ear, he's got my attention at the minute. Because I believe that he could be the man to do it. He has that strength. It's not just a persona. You can tell it's not just a persona. He's got this quiet calm about him. And it's like, I don't care what you think of me. This is what we're going to do. And I can respect that. I see that as leadership. So I'm just looking through the comments, guys. That's all. Steve, can you just warn a certain individual? I'll put it on the screen. about that sort of rhetoric in the chat, please. Not for my sake, for their sake, because people will be watching. We'll wait until restore policies are better defined, but slippery slope at the moment. I'm that way too. I'm of that way too. I'm caught, like lots of people were saying yesterday in the comments, I'm cautiously optimistic about this. That's all I would say. How are you doing? How are you doing? Thanks, buddy. Thanks, mate. Yeah, that's not a good comment to be making in the chat. Not for me. I don't, it's up to you what you do, but it's for your own good. If you make comments like that, then you could end up with a knock at the door. I'm just saying, in the current situation, this country, with people watching, you don't know who's watching, you don't know who's going to report you. Be careful what you say in the chat. Right, guys, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to throw out the link. Anybody wants to come and have a chat, they can do for 5 or 10 minutes, and then we'll call it a day, as always. I need some optimism because I'm finding things harder and depressing at the moment. I think a lot of people are, Steve. You're not alone in that assumption. I'm being careful, which I agree with. However, what is the answer without a political solution? That's very true. We know, I think we all know where that path leads. I think, who was saying it? Someone was saying this actually, that, we have to hope and pray that there's a political solution. Because, the minute people start talking, the minute discussion ends, that's when things go bad. That's when things go really, really bad. Lefties within our church typing crap to make us look bad. Yep. That's why I have to call it out sometimes, just to show that I don't agree with that sentiment at all. Yes, Rupert is the reasonable answer to this. He is. And people think he's go and have a look on the Restore Britain website, because all his policies are on there, all the policies and everything. I'll tell you which policy I did like, which I thought was really good. This is what made me sit up and take notice, because he said an Englishman's man is his castle. So he said that anybody breaking into somebody's house and in the process of doing that, if they get harmed or killed, well, that's on them. I like that, because that's similar to a law that they have in America called the Castle Doctrine, where if you enter somebody's home with criminal intent and you get harmed or killed, well, tough. You have no leg to stand on. You take your consequences into your own hand. If you get killed or anything like that, it basically better defines reasonable force. I mean, if somebody's entering your home with ill intent by breaking into your house to steal things, that's ill intent, isn't it? Straight away. And you should be able to use whatever force you require to remove those people from your home. And if they intend to do you harm, then you have every right to defend yourself, even to a point of being lethal. And he's totally right. And you know what that does? That also adds a degree of deterrent, because people know then, criminals know then, that if they enter somebody's house, then they're at risk of being hurt. At the minute, there's no deterrent, because they know that they can prosecute, they themselves can prosecute the people that they've targeted to commit crime against. That would all change under Rupert Lowe. That would put That would make the victim of the crime the protection of the state sort of thing, would be protected under the law. It's like, no, you entered my property with the intention of doing me or my family harm by stealing property. So therefore, you have agency over your actions, and those actions have consequences. And should you be harmed or killed because of those actions, that's on you, not on the person defending the home. And I agree with that completely, 100%. Yeah, a lot of people are saying these are hard right policies. No, they're not. These are just common sense policies. They're just common sense. Why would you allow people into your country that don't want to work and then leech off your benefit system? Why would you let them do that? That's stopping people from doing that. Isn't hard right. It's just common sense. It's what most countries around the world do. You couldn't do half the stuff, could you? I'll just let Capricorn in.
Hi,
Hey,
me.
Capricorn. How are you doing?
Hiya. Hello.
Oh, just turn
Hi.
your camera off. Turn your camera off. You know how to turn it off, don't you? I'll just remove you a minute. Just turn your camera off. You don't want to be on screen.
You'll have to bear with
There
me.
you go. There you go.
You'll have to bear with me. I can't see the chat. I've got a couple of points to make. I know I'm going to make this quick because I know you don't want to be on too long. First of all, Rupert Lowe, right? Number one, he's grabbed my attention. He's done all his good work there. The gang inquiry, shall we call it? I think he's been deeply, deeply touched by that, what he's done. And he's looking around, seeing everyone flailing on the right, i.e. Reform, if you can call them right wing, and Advance. And he's saying, look, I've had enough. I'm going for this. I want my country to be sorted. And believe it or not, he's getting a massive, massive following from the Americans. I know America hasn't got anything to do with us, but in a way, they kind of do. One of my YouTubers I follow over there has actually sent an email to JD Vance to discuss all his policies, his recent ones that come out anyway. So that's a Billy bonus for us, because if JD Vance looks at what he's going to do, then
Have you seen that YouTuber Asmongold? He's been promoting
Yeah.
Rupert Lowe as well.
Yeah. That's the guy. I mean, he's got a massive following with the younger generation of this country, with the gaming and that, but they do follow him politically as well. Labour, I've done a great one again, done another Amelia here, by blocking the 16-year-olds and under. They're actually going to create younger generations that are going to grow up and see anyone on the left are blocking us from this, that and the other. So it's going to backfire, and they're all going to turn to the right. So that's going to be a backfire as well, long term.
Yeah. I mean, look what happens with teenagers. What do? They actually rebel against what their parents' politics is. And if their parents' politics is far left ideology, they're all going to go to the right, aren't they? That's what normally happens.
I to be honest, I think the majority of the left don't actually know anything about children, to be fair. I love the fact that Rupert is going to imprison all those that are encouraging and taking part in these blockers and surgery. I think that's wonderful, absolutely wonderful, and that's the action we need.
You know what else I think people have actually missed? Because when you listen to his speech, he doesn't discriminate against who he's going to remove from the country. He says anybody that is against our culture, our traditions, will be removed. That is not exclusively saying illegal immigrants or Islamists.
Yeah.
It's like he's talking about the left. You know, if you don't
Yeah.
like our culture, if you don't want to be here, go. We'll deport you. Bye. But we don't want
Exactly.
you.
Exactly. I was thinking about another one as well, but I can't remember that for now. I said something. Oh yeah, this worry about World War III. Well, that is the biggest psyop going. It's the only thing now that they've got. It's the only thing. And I'm telling you now, there will be a general election and it won't be 2029. I think, and I'll just say a little bit on Advance in a bit. I think if Advance or Restore don't get their backsides running, they're going to be hit with a general election within the next 12 months. I'll tell you my reasoning, because the economy, we are running at a recession now. I reckon by July we'll be in a depression, a slow one. It will be slow burn, but with all these Indians coming over, taking our young people's opportunities and jobs, that is going to have a detrimental effect.
It's
Plus
not just that. It's not just that. Look at what Rachel Reeves has done. She's not actually promoting growth. She's actually doing the opposite. She's making things hard for businesses to operate in this country. And a lot of people are just going to take their investments and leave. They're going to, I mean, it's already happened. Rolls-Royce, we've lost a massive contract for jet engines in this country. 40,000 jobs have gone already because of that. It's going to America.
Exactly. I wouldn't be surprised by, where are we now? February? I won't be surprised by April when we're at hitting the 6 million unemployment mark. And I'm on about JSA, not any of the other benefits, the JSA. 6 million.
I'm glad you brought this up because I want to cover this, because a lot of people going about benefits and shirkers. What people don't understand is that this DEI excludes people from getting jobs. So a lot of the people that are actually on universal credit can't get work because of discrimination. It's because of that. And Rupert Lowe did touch on that. I will give him credit. He did touch on that. He said there's this barrier being put in place to stop people from getting work. They want work, but they can't get a job because they're being back of the queue. Everything they do, they're back of the queue.
Yeah,
and
because of DEI. That's why. DEI and that ESG, that environment, social and environment, social and governance. And the DEI comes under the governance umbrella. This is all EU and WEF policies, by the way. And I'll tell you another thing as well. The Epstein files, there is a file in there that him and a scientist have been experimenting on the younger folk, very, very, very younger folk, trying to, splice genes and change them then. Transitioning kind of thing. And isn't it funny that policy, that has actually been made policy in this country, that we can start doing it from 4 years of age. And I'm really, really angry about that. That is so sick.
Well, did you hear about what Starmer's doing? He's decreasing the age for transition to 4-year-olds now as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's 4-year-old.
Yeah.
This was a brainchild of Epstein and his cronies and his scientists. It was a brainchild of that, and it's in the files. It's in black and white. So if anyone wants to have a look at it,
the way Starmer's weathered all these scandals is just insane. It's impossible. There's no way he should have been able to survive any of these scandals, and it shows you just how much protection he has from the establishment in all of this. They know he's the man to destroy this country. And what's he done now? He's done another deal with China. He's lowered certain standards on the stock exchange, so Chinese companies can compete on our stock exchange now.
God's sake.
So he's in the pocket of China. He's obviously in the pocket. We all know it.
Yeah.
Everybody knows it, that he's an agent of China. He's either in the pocket or he's a direct agent of the CCP. He's a communist. People forget this. He's a communist. He's a Trotsky communist.
Yeah, Trotsky. Yeah.
So of course he'd be on board with it.
It's disgusting. It It just is. I mean, I know there's utter despair out there, but hopefully, hopefully Rupert now will be the man, because isn't it funny that Advance did their wonderful rally last weekend? Okay, Rupert's come out with his Restore, and all of a sudden Nigel has put a big whatever they call when they're standing up there, whatever. They've done a big
He's
thing
put his shadow
about...
Have you seen his advertised his shadow cabinet? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. And it's just every time there's a threat, Nigel comes out with all the fireworks and circus. It's just sad.
I think England's done. I don't think it's done. It's not done yet. I'll tell you what will happen though, and people should be wary of this, right? If there is an economic collapse in this country, that definitely could trigger civil war, definitely, because money overnight will become worthless, and everybody's savings gone. Your mortgage, you're probably getting houses repossessed by the banks constantly. It will just descend into chaos overnight.
That's what they want. That's what they want. That's what they're after. Own nothing and be miserable. Sorry, happy.
I've got to say this though. I don't think it will play out like they think it will play out, because wars are unpredictable. Civil wars are even more unpredictable when they kick off, because nobody knows who the target's going to be or where the first instant of attack will occur. And I've always stated that if there was ever going to be a civil war in this country, it will be started by the Islamists. They will be the first ones to kick things off, and we would have to be the ones to finish it. I will say this as well. Don't think for 1 second that the government would side with us. It would side with the Islamists, 100%. It would side with them.
Yeah, probably. But
yeah,
I
hate making videos where it's bleak and there's no hope and stuff like. But I can't not be honest. I can't give people false hope about what's happening in the country. It's like you've got to know. You've got to wake up. You've got to realise and basically be your own hope in the world. That's what you've got to be. You can't allow other people to start speaking for you. That's why I hate the movement. I hate that there's people prominent in this movement that don't really speak for me. They don't talk for me because I don't agree with them. Who elected them to be leaders? I didn't elect them. So that's why I don't affiliate with anybody. I'm independent.
This is what I'm on about. I'm glad your channel's a bit neutral, because I've been on some channels and already the propaganda machine is out. I can't believe that. Using the same tactics as the lefties. There was one, I won't mention no names, but there's one where poor Rupert's getting old now and making the same accusations.
Oh, what? But just say it. Just say it. It was on Paul Thorpe's live stream, wasn't it? It was on Paul Thorpe's live stream. He and Richard Inman came out with some of the most disgusting smears that I've ever heard.
I want to make something plain to everybody, because I researched this and this is bang out of order. Rupert Lowe did not vote yes to any of these culling bills, I may add. If I can show you not show you the link, because I'm not that, my phone's died. You can access these records of how your MP voted. He voted no for the abortion bill, and he voted no
Did you see
for
Dan O'Bain's
the
video on this?
euthanasia bill. Please get that through, because that's important, because if that's going to be used as a tool for dragging Rupert down, I will fight it all the way, because that is bang out of order.
Yeah. What he did, Dan O'Bain brought this up in his video. He said what Rupert did was he proposed the debate, and then when the debate was proposed, he voted against it. He wanted there to be a debate so he could vote against it. That's what he wanted.
Yeah, exactly. And you'd be surprised he's on the list that voted yes.
I know there's a few in Reform that voted yes.
Well, I'll leave it for others to go and look up, because people
Yeah.
are going to start researching people. Here's my issue with Advance. There's a couple, but one of them is Richard Thompson. He happens to be a director. And yes, he's an ex-Marine, and I do respect all our ex-service men and women. But he spent time with the SNP between 2019 and 24 as some sort of Treasury Minister, junior, whatever. Then he moved to Reform, and now he's in Advance. So my concern would be, where does he stand with his politics?
The thing is, right, a lot of these people in Reform, they're not even conservative. They were never conservative to start with. They were just like these Tory wets, and that's what Reform has become full of. Is just, I was going to say this in a morning walk video, but if you look at Reform, it's just become a life raft for failing politicians, hasn't it? To save their careers. That's all it is now. That's all the party is.
And to be honest, if anyone's bothered to go to any of these meetings, I recently went to one. I won't say where. And a couple of Labour have moved across to Reform on the council level. What does that tell you?
Yeah.
They want to stay in the jobs and they'll do whatever.
Well,
I like the idea of Rupert saying no politicians allowed. No, I like that idea. I think it should be fresh faces, fresh people. And this other thing about Northern Ireland as well. Rupert includes Northern Ireland in Britain. I know there's been rules and laws, whatever. He's going to get rid of all that rubbish. And now if the Northern Ireland people rise up and say, look, we don't want to be a part of it, we want to be Ireland, which I want to
talk about this as well. When people, you know, when you said before about Rupert Lowe saying that he doesn't want MPs, he wants ordinary people from industry, from military, and that sort of thing. I've heard arguments saying, well, he wouldn't get anything done because those people don't know how government is run. They learn because they're intelligent.
Goodness sake, this is a really unsubstantiated argument, because how many times does the civil service take on normal people across the board? I mean, who would want to work for them anyway? But yeah, it's just blag to blind people, to put people off. It's ridiculous.
That was encouraging as well when he said he was going to take on the civil service. Rupert Lowe, he says, "Yeah, we're going to get rid of him. We need to get rid of the civil service. The Home Office needs a complete overhaul." And that's a shame that shivers down the spines of all of them, because they're on the target list.
Yeah, they are. They're going to be either gone or they need to sign new contracts. If that was me, and knowing Rupert's a businessman, I'd just rename everything and start again. That's easy. You know, bring up new departments, fold the old ones, start anew, and just make them reapply for the jobs. And if unfortunately they don't make it, then tough. Sayonara.
I don't know about you, Capricorn, right? But I've been politically homeless for years. I mean, I'll admit I voted for Reform in the last general election. But as I stated to other people, as I say to the people in the Morning Walk video, you learn from your actions. You will view changes because you're constantly challenging your own opinions, and people should do that. If you're a rational person, you will challenge your own opinions and look at yourself and think, is my thinking right on this, or is it not? And that's what I did with Reform. Was like, nah, I'm out. Reform out. They're not the party for me. They're not doing what I wanted them to do. They've just gone completely to the left, and it's not what I want in government. But I'm just not affiliated to anybody. I won't join a party for a specific reason that I will choose a party on its policies, and that's it. And if the leader is strong enough to fulfill those policies, I'm not going to be some kind of club member or tribalistic member of a party, because if that party doesn't deliver for me, I'm moving to another party that is delivering.
Yeah.
That's how I'm treating it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if Reform form the next government, it still allows Restore and Advance to grow the parties, and I think they've put an awful lot of pressure now anyway. They're going to start pressuring Reform because already they're changing the tune over things. I've watched a little bit of the speeches this morning at the Reform conference. So they are changing their rhetoric in illegal immigration again and DEI.
You know what, right? I think over the course of the next 3 years, I think Restore Britain, and this is just me predicting, is going to overtake Reform in the polls, because people were only voting for Reform because it was a lesser of evils. And it's no longer the lesser of evils. It's not even, Restore Britain isn't evil. It's just the party that we need to vote for, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
And like I said, it's on conditions. Rupert Lowe has to earn my trust, earn my respect, and my vote. And if he can do that, I will vote for him in 2029, if there is an election, that is. But yeah, Restore, Reform are just going to be, I think they'll just disappear away into political oblivion. I think they're done as a party, to be honest with you. Because Nigel Farage, he just blows with the political wind. He's got no concrete policies. He doesn't set anything in stone. He just goes where the media pushes him or where popular consensus pushes him. That's it.
And yeah, they are kind of fluid, unfortunately. Yeah. Whereas Rupert and Ben, and I'll give Ben his due because I like Ben. They are staunch. This is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do it. Let's get on. Let's get on and do it.
Can you imagine a party with Rupert as leader, Ben as deputy leader? It'd be an unstoppable force. Unstoppable.
Definitely. I just feel I don't really want to get into the Advance argument because it's getting a bit nasty. And I have total respect for Paul Thorpe and the rest of them, but they've got to think that get the vote out to the members. That'll be democratic. If the members say, yeah, we want to join Restore, then fair enough. If they say no, well, stand your ground and just be a party. Just get on with it. People will vote for who they want to vote for at the end of the day, won't they?
Yeah. I'll be honest, there's people within there, and I know this because I don't say everything online because I have to protect my source and stuff like that. But when people have been talking to me, they've told me that people have agendas. I've talked to people from around Advance who are in important positions, and they say if you've noticed, there've been some resignations from Advance lately, and that's because of certain individuals in the party that they don't agree with. That they're not necessarily doing things that are for the benefit of the country; it's for their own benefit. So I'll leave that there. But
I mean, all I'm saying is that I think what started questioning me thinking was when the scientist Paul Burgess left. I was a bit started to think about things then, because the guy's a scientist, he's got 22,000 subs, he knows what he's talking about, so why have they let him go? It's just crazy, but that's my opinion.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going off behind the scenes. Like I said this morning, I think you listened to it, didn't you, about it's getting very Game of Thrones in the background. And it's like, it shouldn't be about power plays, about who wants to be leader. Somebody in the comments said it perfectly the other day. Everybody wants to be Winston Churchill. And only one person could be the new Winston Churchill. Not everybody can be them. And that's what all this is what these right-wing parties are trying to be. They want to be the one that saves the country, but they're just not in a position to do it. And they never will be. And they need to come to that realization and, maybe lower their egos, look in the mirror a little bit and think, you know what, I need to go and join forces with these people over here.
Yeah. Yeah, because, you know, I think, yeah, well, the more this has gone on, the more I'm backing Rupert. Definitely.
Yeah, I mean,
for me,
I've got to admit,
it's sheer work in the civil service. What they've done, what he's done to them, televised, has been incredible.
I mean, you got to give him credit. I mean,
yeah,
from what he's done, I mean, he's done exactly what he said on the tin. I mean, he said, "I'll do a grooming gang inquiry." He did it. He funded it, did it himself, got it off the ground, and did it. And the revelations from that are shocking. And you've got to ask, what have all these other parties done? Have they done anything similar? Could they have done that? Or have they just been worried about what they look like in the press and their own personal agendas?
Exactly. And I think the drive for Rupert has been the international, let's say the international link in this inquiry is, I know it's not been made hugely public, but there's something in there that he's spotted and he's seen the light, basically. He's like, right, let's get on now. You know, enough wasting time. We need this inquiry fully funded and, you know, taking people to court. So he's pushing for that, I think. That's what I believe anyway.
Yeah. Right. I'm going to end it because...
Okay.
All right. Thanks for coming in, Capricorn. It's always awesome to have you on. Really is.
Yeah. Can you... can you switch me off then?
Okay.
Do it.
There you go. That's it. She's gone. She's awesome. I love Capricorn when she comes on. Not going yet. We're just going to have a look at some of the comments. Then I'm not being funny when I say it, but Rupert has provided it with, inquiry and has done something. Yeah, he has. He's proven himself, hasn't he? Right, guys, that's it. I'm going to call it. Thank you for all coming along, and I shall see you all soon in the morning walk video tomorrow, hopefully. This is Vindicator. Sign off.